Yeah, man, what's happening?
What's going on?
We made it back. Once again, man, we were supposed to...
People try and keep us down, but you can't keep us down.
You can't do it to us, man. We're planning on having some politicians in the building today.
Yeah, it's just, politicians, they're wily little
right, they do what they
creatures.
Want. They do what they want.
But we did get to have Yolanda. But we sent out invitations to, so far, Skorman and Geislinger,
Geislinger,
right?
yeah.
But there are a lot of politicians running this April,
yeah.
so.
And they're all getting started right now. Like, yeah. I think even Yolanda told us, like, this week, her campaign is starting, so she might not have.
I don't think she's even officially running yet. When we were looking on the, Sam was looking at the.
Like she hadn't officially got it cracking yet.
But I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, man. So, but anyway, look, don't ignore the people, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to talk to you. We want to figure out what the hell you got going on and why you want to get it going on, and you're gonna come talk to us. Well, listen. Okay, I'm gonna rephrase that. Either you come talk to us. We're going to come talk to you, buddy.
Oh, yeah, so that's right, because we're playing Michael Moore style.
Yeah, we're coming
going
up
in there,
man.
We could call them, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with so-and-so. Is that what it was called? Tuesdays with... No. What was that called? The Michael Moore movie that it was so famous where he was trying to speak with...
Oh, shit, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. But that dude, man, just speaking of conspiracy theory, we were just talking about this stuff with... 9/11 and like how this stuff. That dude, there's some stuff that I'm just like.
Some of it, yeah, he's good, but there's some stuff on there.
Yeah. I watched the one about him talking about Flint, Michigan. But anyway,
that's the one I was talking about. That's the best one. That's his best one.
Yeah.
Roger and me.
Roger and me. Yeah.
That was good.
So anyway, we're gonna recap some of the stuff we talked about with Councilwoman Yolanda Avila.
With our own analysis,
I keep saying her name wrong, man. Make sure you say her name right, man. She explained how to say it in the video.
She'll kick us in the shins if not.
Hell yeah, it would deservedly so too, man. And don't let people call all of the male people on the damn panel Mr. Such and Such and Councilman Such and Such, and then call her Yolanda. Y'all better start throwing shit at them people for that shit, man. And so anyway, talking about throwing shit, uprising, the right wing uprising.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about the state of the right now, because obviously.
Struggling, son.
Well, that's a good question. What can we expect from them?
Yeah, that's true.
And then maybe we'll get to some corruption.
Yeah, some corrupt. There's a lot of crap. Ish.
We should. The problem is we could have a whole show about that.
Right.
Like that could go on and on and on.
And I don't really. So they hired Dave Young. The El Paso County District Attorney Office hired Dave Young. And if you don't know who he is, he's the DA that oversaw Elijah McClain's case in Denver.
We could have we should start a meme that says Google Dave Young.
Yeah.
Like that Google book chin memes.
Yeah, we need to figure out, make sure we know who these people are, man, because this is like a little inner web that they weave, and the Gazette laid it out pretty well in the article that they wrote the other day. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah, man.
We're always plugging the Gazette, which I feel like really weird about.
Dog, especially this man. I really feel like we need to handle them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got two editors that had to do with this damn shit. They went to
the editor and his wife.
Oh, yeah. Okay, my bad. Yeah. That went to the thing. You know what I'm saying?
The January 6th uprising.
It's not sitting right with me, man. And it feels like the lefties, we need to.
Well, he was saying he was just out there for his job. That's what he does as a journalist. He goes out to D.C. regularly.
Not that post that I saw him make.
Yeah. And his wife was like, she was on the stairs. It looked like from one of the pictures that she posted on Twitter. So like. Just out there.
You weren't out there.
Be honest.
You went out there.
Be real.
Just do the shit. Yeah, like say what you're gonna do. Because here's the thing, they got a stronghold. You know what I'm saying? For right now, until people just stop buying this shit. Like I don't know what would we do without the Gazette.
We'd all probably be a lot happier.
Just be fine. We'd be fine. I think a lot of people are. There's more people that don't like the Gazette than they do.
I don't know anybody that likes it.
Conservatives don't like the Gazette.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I went over to my mom's house a couple months ago or something, and she's like, we just canceled our Gazette subscription.
Right.
Because they had taken it too far, which they always do. If I had a Gazette subscription, I'd be canceling it every other month.
Me too.
Or every other week.
I read Heidi's stuff. I don't know. I read a bunch of people's shit, but anyway, man, I don't know. There's a lot of different places to get stuff, man. But anyway, man. So what do we want to recap from? I want to talk about what she's wants to have done. I think there's for me, there was a time, Matt, beefing with Yolanda Avila is
Avila. I gotta kick you in the shins for her.
How am I saying it wrong?
Avila. Avila.
Okay.
Whatever.
Avila.
Just last night I was saying Avila, so I'm not gonna give you too much.
Damn, man.
It's because I got used to saying
right.
That.
Gotta say it the right way. But that got into a beef with her because I didn't even know who the hell she was.
Right.
And I still feel that if you're elected in a seat, like, okay, there's people that voted for you, but there's people that move in and out all the time. This shit moving around, and it's not my job to come and figure out who yes, it is my job to figure out who she is and what she's about or whatever. I got that. You know what I'm saying?
It's a two-way
Yeah,
street.
but when I do, and here's what really pissed me off, because when I did, I was like, all right, let me figure this out. I looked, and then she was with all kind of shit that didn't have nothing to do with nothing down here. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that had nothing to do with my life or the people that we were living around and dealing with. So I went at that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we talked about that in the thing. So if you guys, remember me doing those things, we talked about it. You know what I'm saying? And I felt bad, man. I gotta admit.
But you know what? No, I completely understand. You're like, oh man, she's actually a human person.
Yeah,
and it is good to remember that people are humans and they have like emotional reactions. Because I got into a conversation with her once too, and I left feeling like, ugh. But I gotta say, she came up here and she was like, I don't want to say she was contrite or whatever. Like she wasn't like apologetic, but she came and she was like, look, I understand where you're coming from.
Right. She just was like a woman about it.
She was being honest.
Right. Yeah. She just came in here and talked about what happened and then like how it went down. And on top of that, like she didn't ask what we were going to talk about before. She didn't say like we were like she was like, oh, we're going to record this now. Oh, okay, hold on, let me get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't. She was just with.
I was like, do you want to see the questions? She's like, ah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm sort of impressed.
Me too.
But, I think most politicians would be like, I want to see the questions first. In fact,
they're not going to come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Ignore us. Yeah.
Scorman.
You can't do it, dog. You might as well
have to come on. You have to come on.
You know we're coming. And he lives in your district, man. And
he's
three of y'all.
representative.
There's three of y'all running to represent him too. So don't worry. Listen,
Can somebody tag Scorman in this post right now?
Just come on, man. Just come on. It was good.
And Geislinger, yeah, Scorman, like you'll like it. Nobody has ever come on our show and not had a good time. Too.
Yeah, I think the only one to get it is Jill.
Oh, we should just invite her on for kicks.
Yeah, I would love for her to bring her.
Turf Jill, anti-trans Jill,
man,
anti-worker Jill, Gabler. We're talking about Jill Gabler.
Jill, yeah, Gabler, man. I can't believe what she did, man. And that stuff, just the weird, bigoted, racist shit that comes out of people's mouth when they think that they're accompanied by people that agree with them. You know what I'm saying?
She also, somebody shared this on a social media post. She just gets worse and worse. I have to say, I'm glad that she's term limited out.
Me too, man.
I
can't believe she made it down.
She commented something about like Andy Ngo. If you know who Andy Ngo is, he's the guy. He's a right-wing provocateur. He's the person that shared all of our information on his Twitter page after we got arrested at the Trump protest.
Yeah.
He's like, Antifa unmasked, and shared all 8 of the people that were arrested, their names and their ages and all that shit, and and then he shared Pat's all his Facebook pictures and stuff, to basically he doxed them, like trying to get right wingers to go after us.
Attack them, yeah.
Turns out Jill Gabler follows Andy Ngo and comments on his tweets and stuff. So
she's in agreement.
Also, so she's. I mean, I don't want to say she like agrees with him on it. She's a scab. Yeah. She's like she enjoys apparently. Right-wing provocateurs.
Yeah.
She's anti-trans.
She's anti-workers. Yeah. She said literally, like, unprovoked, too. I'll come work for the Wild Goose for free.
Yeah, in the middle of a dispute that, like...
with workers.
Hadn't become clear. Like, everything hadn't become clear in the public yet. She's just like, I don't care what it is. I'll support the bosses. I'll support the owners.
I'll work for free for you.
And can I just add... The owners, at this point, they've changed their wage structure. They made a whole news release about it. Like, they're going to start paying their workers... either $15 or $16 an hour, get rid of the tip system.
They got rid of the tip system.
Which I think is great. That's what they need to do.
Right.
There's this notion that, like, we don't actually have to pay workers because we can just rely on the customers to subsidize our wages for us.
Yeah.
And I think that's bad.
That's bullshit,
tips just encourage people to get sexually harassed and all this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was happy that our campaign pushed them to do
right
that.
thing.
So Jill, you coming out in support of them, like,
You're done. Yeah,
looks even stupider.
They're not, and they didn't care that you came out and supported them. They changed what they needed to change and fixed it. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
So, yeah, that just goes to show, man. But you know, Jill, do you think she's going to disappear? Or do you think she's going to try to like?
I have no idea. That's a good question. She might try to run for mayor or whatever. But can I just get back to? So you know, you came after Avila.
Yeah.
And she came back and she was like, you know, I can appreciate you where you were coming from. Yeah. We went after Wild Goose and Good Neighbors, and everybody's like, you know, you can't do that. They're allies. But in both of these situations, can we just say that when we went after them, like, and we're like, here's where you were wrong.
Yeah.
We had positive outcomes from it.
It worked, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? And it came out to where now, you know, going into this city council run, we're looking at it like, oh, the 4th district has a, you know, like we have a voice, you know what I'm saying? And she even said, I think she was on tape when she said it, but they told her, I'm tired of hearing about the Southeast. Like the people up there told her they're tired of hearing about us down here. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're getting shit done, man, and it's working the right way or whatnot. And you know, like the things that she has in mind going forward that she wants to have happen for the 4th district is exactly the shit that we need.
Affordable housing.
Yeah, affordable housing, the urban renewal plan that she wants to implement. And
I mean, rather than BS urban renewal, where it's not actually blighted, they just pay a company to tell them, you know, oh, that's a cracked curb, that's blighted.
Yeah, you know? yeah, like real shit. And I couldn't tell. Do you think she's excited about the Mission Trace thing? I don't know.
It seems like it.
I think it felt like she was.
I gotta admit, I'm a little excited for it.
Yeah,
it's the type of thing you don't see in Colorado Springs very often. So
I'm excited, but it's still like, man, I don't trust these people, man. So it's like, what's behind it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the end? Like,
I mean, developers are going to get rich. That's,
exactly.
Developers use urban renewal to ensure that they are going to make money off of things. That's what's messed up about the urban renewal process. Right. It's really just a way, like the city can use it, but the developers are like, I love this.
Yeah.
It's a great way to make money.
But yeah, as it goes on, you know what I'm saying? It did people, we got to pay attention and make sure that there's shit that we need right there and things and it's happening the way, I don't know, like, or not, I don't know.
Because I guess we got to hold them to account. Like we got to,
or we can just burn this shit down like they did at the Broadmoor.
Yeah, the Broadmoor Bluffs when they tried to build affordable housing. Yeah, which reminds me, we got to get that guy from, so there's 2 people running against Richard Scorman. Yeah. One of them, I believe, is from there. So come on down.
Yeah, you guys got to come, man.
Every single one of you guys.
We're going to come to y'all, man. So anyway,
they're gonna be watching their backs everywhere they
go. Here they come again. It's going down, man. We're already figuring out our equipment, little camera thing, the light and everything. We're gonna pop up on y'all ass, man.
Because we'll ambush them, but we want them to look good on camera.
we want the light to hit you just right while you're blushing.
We want to see the tears glistening.
Right, so that everybody can see you. Speaking of that, man, so okay. The right wing.
Whew. So,
listen, man. First off, I believe that this uprising is coming from a place of confidence, right? Because I believe that they feel and they know that they got
January 6th uprising.
Yeah.
Specifically, right?
Well, they're culminating. It's been happening way before then. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a dead cat left on my doorstep. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been shot at and shit. Like. It's been culminating from this whole shit, and it just like that was the ultimate. Yeah. Like you even said like these motherfuckers don't get to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not. They don't get to do that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so it was like the ultimate thing that could have happened. But I believe that no charges. Devon Bailey, all of the people, all of the all of the names that no charges came from, and all of these things that have happened. To us that are in their favor have given them confidence like, hey, no, we can get away with this. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that tells them, no proof or evidence that shows that they can't get away with it.
Yep. Well, so, a good example of this is remember up in Portland over the past 5 years basically?
Yeah.
When there's been these clashes between right-wingers and left-wingers and the police. And the police in Portland were caught working with the Proud Boys and the Patriot Front up there, those right-wing organizations. They were like giving them like advice on like where people were and things like this. They were like had private communication channels with them.
Right.
And then when that Antifa guy shot that right winger that was pulling out mace on him, you know, the police went down and immediately. Oh, that was a different situation. Actually.
I thought you were talking about the one in Denver.
Yeah, no, that was another situation. The police went down and filled that guy full of bullet holes. They just gunned him down. That left winger, despite the fact that it was like very clear that you could make an argument for self-defense in that, but they went after him because he was a left winger so hard. And like, how many right wingers have shot at or attacked left wingers over the past several years? And I mean, very few have faced
numerous
charges.
times. Like, if you know somebody that can tell you it's happened to me 3 or 4 times, then you know that it's happening thousands, millions of times across the country this past couple of years. Y'all remember they were standing over us at the bus stop, with their scopes out on us. You know what I'm saying? We had to go up there and ask them if they wanted to shoot for real or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
nothing happened to them.
Nothing.
They had their guns out.
Yeah, pointing them at people. Like they scope, like sighted in. You know
well, even if they don't have their like guns on specific, like they had their sighters up there. That like you set up a fucking sniper nest. That's not threatening.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what they were doing. So anyway, you know,
but they're just keeping an eye out.
Hey man, and nothing happened. So then this guy Tig, right? He's like, "Hey man, they're letting me do this shit."
Yeah,
you know
but by the way, I believe Tig might be watching our videos.
Yeah.
So Tig, if you are, come on down. We want to talk to you.
You know I'm not scared.
Like I know that he deletes everybody that criticizes him. Everybody, he's deleted like a bunch of us on Twitter and on YouTube videos because he's a liar. He's like completely full of shit. Right, he just makes shit up like, I have intelligence of busloads of Antifa. I'm sorry, but that doesn't exist. That's a fantasy.
There's no such thing. There's no intelligence that exists that says that anywhere on
Earth. And that he personally witnessed Antifa showing their insiders backpacks full of rocks and frozen water bottles and shit. Bullshit. Come on, Tig. Come down and actually show us receipts for your shit.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see evidence.
We don't let pigs in here, so we'll have to do our interview outside in the parking lot. You're not allowed in the Chinook Center, man. But anyway.
Sorry, that was just a little side.
Yeah, that dude, man, God, he pissed that shit. I'm like, it really makes me mad. You know what I'm saying? And then I think he was in the military too, right? So
well, he got his ass kicked at Benghazi.
Oh yeah.
But that's what makes him famous. He's like, I was at Benghazi, which was a total and complete failure and disaster.
Wasn't that the losers that Trump was talking about? Did he talk? I think you're the exact person that Trump was talking about.
Although he was a merc basically. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Maybe you weren't the exact guy, but you were one of. Anyway, who cares, man? I don't give a shit. Like I feel bad for all the people that F Benghazi or whatever. That shit didn't have nothing to do with them. It could have. That shit could have been anybody. I've been in situations where I was just there and I didn't have nothing to do with that shit, man. But anyway, speak like that kind of shit. But though I was in the military with racists. I was in the military with Trump, with people
like Tig and all his
that use their bigotry to boost their patriotism, like some weird. It's really fucking weird how that shit plays out, man. And it's like this inherent. Is it inherent or what's the word called when you just don't have to say it? You know what I'm saying? I don't. Whatever it is, they know why I'm doing these things and saying it. I don't have to talk about it or say it. You know what I'm saying? And those things happen in the military still right now today. You know, we were just talking. I looked on there. The Washington Post had a article in June of 2020 talking about the military leadership's promise to get to the bottom of black soldiers being punished disproportionately throughout the history of the military. You know what I'm saying? And there's an active promise from military leadership to
just like sitting out there with no. We do promise. We swear.
Why this is happening when the case is very clear that I think it was the Parler website. They said that there was like a mass of these posts made from the Parler onto the Parler website from military bases. So of course, they could see where they're from, and they were all over these fucking military bases all over the country and shit. So we know where they're at, and we know that they're. And the thing is, we've always known that they were there. We've always told you guys that they were there. You know what I'm saying?
And they don't listen. And there've been so many reports. Like I'm thinking back years of these reports where it's like white supremacists are actively telling their members to join the military, so they get military training and basically take it over. And so they want them to join the military and the police forces. And I gotta say, historically, that's exactly what they did in Italy and Greece. After the collapse of those fascist regimes, the fascist parties were like, we need to take over these important institutions like the military and the police.
Yeah.
So you get fascists actually basically running these things, and I don't think it's any different here in the United States. They want to be in control of, because like fascism is really all about like force and violence, right? And so they want to learn the best methods of violence, and they want to use the military and the police to do what they were trying to do, you know, at the end of the year last year, like overthrow the government in a military coup. Like that was essentially a military coup. It wasn't coming from the top. It wasn't an officer instigated military coup, but like you said, 1 in 5 of the people arrested so far, with regards to the June 6th Capitol riot, are in the military.
Right. Yeah. 1 in 5 of them. I believe it, man. Yeah, in it or had something to do with it. And it's true, man. So, you know, it's all the way through our military. It's all the way through the police force. We've already always known it. You know what I'm saying? So,
like, you start playing, like, we shouldn't need to beg, but come on. Let's start doing something about it.
Right, yeah, man. Call this shit what it is, man. And you know, like, really, like, look into these things where we're at. And you know, we got a bunch of different policing agencies. And we come in contact with police all the time as a community, right? And, like, there's ways to figure out who these people are. And just like we're getting doxxed, we need to dox them and figure out, like, there's just shit that we could do just to bug them and to make things hard on them and to, like, oh, we figured this shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the Philly Antifa is great. They are really solid, really well organized. They do a lot of good intelligence. Philly Antifa was like identifying Nazi cops in Philly, and there's this one that they were like on a campaign after that had like a clearly white supremacist tattoo. And they're like, let's continue to dox this guy and continue to put pressure on to get him fired. And here's the thing, this is why we say abolish the police, because the police is so completely overrun with these white supremacists that you can't just like pluck one out and say the system is fixed. You have to get rid of the system, and then we can start something new.
Didn't our the SB 217, didn't it purge like 6 of them or 8 of them? Right at the beginning of the year, they lost their certifications. And you know, I was like, man, that's great, but really, there's like 60 or 600 of them. It's not 16. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it's the entire
there's
culture,
way
really,
more of them than that needs to get the fuck gone. And then maybe they can start, you know, like prosecuting themselves and each other and policing themselves the way that they're meant to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. But I almost sometimes I make a mistake in saying the way that the military does it or whatever, because it feels like that's the right way to go, because it feels like it's even across the board, but obviously it's not, because they're promising to make it more. You know what I'm saying? To stop punishing black people.
I mean, in fairness, the one thing the military has is like strict hierarchical.
Yeah, like you can't hide it. That's the thing. Like that's the thing I said about it. The one thing is like there is honesty in it, because they can't hide that shit because it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, the way the military commander can be like, we're firing all those people, and people can't be, but that's not fair due process or whatever, too. You know what I'm saying? Like the military. I mean, I know there is like some degree of due process in the military, but the military, because it's like so organized in this hierarchical fashion, like they're pretty efficient. Yeah, they can be pretty efficient if they would like to, you know, if they want to be efficient about things.
You're right. When they want to be like, I just got to bring this shit up because it pisses me off. At the Capitol, they had all of those like 5,000 National Guard soldiers there. There was an article written. I wasn't there. I didn't see it, but there's no reason for these people to lie. 2 porta potties there for 5,000 of them soldiers, man. Now look, there's nothing.
Can't imagine going in that porta potty.
Could you imagine what that shit looked like? Now look, I'm sure there was more than 2 toilets. You know what I'm saying? There was something like somewhere,
maybe somewhere hidden.
Not hidden, but like, you know, you could have went to this back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you could have went here, you could have went there. All of these places where you could go take a piss at. But there's 2 porta potties, and I guarantee maybe it was like some logistical shit where the people didn't bring what they were supposed to, or some shit, or they couldn't place them all there, or something like that was going on. I don't know, but though I know that those soldiers had 2 porta potties, and they were telling them that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then it's shit like this, you know, where it got made into a big deal, and you know, it was a big fuss about they moved the soldiers from like they were chilling out in the Capitol building,
right.
to when they were on break, they had to walk to a garage somewhere in the back. So you know, okay, I can see how that happens, right? You know, they were taking pictures of soldiers like laying all on the benches and shit, and just chill, like they're just chilling like all day, 24 hours a day. They ain't got shit else to do but sit right there. Like they're gonna fucking lay down and take their boot off and something. You know, they're gonna eat their food and shit like this. There's gonna be water bottles and MRE shit all over the place. You know what I'm saying? In the trash and whatever's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, but you brought them there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And these
should have had to plan for this.
Right. Like you brought them. You knew that all of this shit was gonna, like, where were they supposed to be at?
Where
you know
25,000 national
right. And then, like the days before the inauguration, we were wasting these people's time. Like, why are they were still there? This like 3-4 days after the inauguration too. Like, why the fuck are they still there?
They're gonna stay through the impeachment trial, they said.
Right, yeah, that's what exactly, like, why the fuck? Okay,
which is they're gonna start that in 2 weeks, they just said yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. So
they're gonna be there
for a while, man. And then it's not like, oh, it's over. And I mean, I guess they could be like, had the shit set up so that as soon as it's done, we're out of here, but probably not. They're gonna see it through and then pack up, you know? But like, anyway, man, the way that they treat these people is just how you said, like, no, they're good. Take their ass, all them souls over there. I don't want to see now one of them sitting on this fucking sidewalk. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? And now they got to walk a half a mile or whatever to these things. And they made a big, huge deal of it. And it's like, nah, bro, that's how they treat motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's how, and then all the little shit inside of there, right? So you're supposed to have your headgear on, and you better have your weapon, and you better have this and that, or else you're getting fucked up. And then this is where the black soldiers get treated, you know, whatever, and the Puerto Ricans do what all of this shit gets different, you know what I'm saying, inside of those nuanced things, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, it's just a big, huge, stressful thing.
Wait, are you telling me
these people created
an institution within the United States is racist?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, man.
What?
All the way from its
from
written
its
policy, yeah, all the way down, man.
Crazy.
Yeah. Exactly.
So this gets back to I mean, I'm sure some of this is going to build more resentment too, like this, like within the military ranks. But a lot of people were expecting those mass, you know, they were expecting demonstrations at all the state capitals and demonstrations at the Capitol that day. And, you know, I got to say, I called it that I didn't expect this. I was like, there's not going to be mass demonstrations.
Yeah, I didn't either, man. Yeah, I had a battle.
Who would show up?
Right, yeah.
Why would anybody... First, the right-wingers, like, the only reason they showed up on the 6th that day is because their fucking God told them to show up.
Yeah.
And, like, that was basically every right-wing militant in the country, I feel like, was there that day. And there wasn't that many. You know?
There was a lot of them bitches, boy.
I mean, there were a lot, but like, if you got every leftist militant in DC on one day, if like we had some sort of glorious leader like they had, which is never going to happen because we're all so suspicious of that shit. But let's just
you're right. The president called me nowhere, man. What you talking about?
Let's just let's exist in this fantasy world for a moment where there's like if Bernie Sanders was like,
I go for Bernie, man. I go for Bernie.
I want every leftist militant to come to Washington D.C. and to storm the Capitol, like in his little mittens and stuff. Now he'd be like, I want every leftist militant.
Like we're going with Bernie right now.
Like so, there would be like 100,000. I think you know what I'm saying. They got, I think the highest number I heard, and I think this was an exaggeration, was 30,000. I think there were like 10,000 that day. Like, I just never saw an image that looked like there were 30,000 people. That's a lot of people. But maybe there were. I don't know. I wasn't there, and I haven't seen a lot of numbers. But the Black Lives Matter protests this summer, people estimated that there were literally millions of people out in the street this summer, like across all the cities. So there's a lot of us, right?
Yeah, there's a lot.
And the right, get down too. Yeah, exactly. And like we love to get down. Remember, that's what we were talking about. Why I was so annoyed that they were like successfully breaching police lines. Of course, they weren't really breaching police lines.
They were just like police Olay in there. Yeah, Olay. That's we call that the Olay block.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
What's it called? The Yale block.
But then people are like, oh, there's going to be violence, and I was like, no, because right wingers never. I've been harassed online by enough right wingers to be like, we're coming down there, we're going to kick your ass, and like. I show up that day with my bat and like, you know, whatever.
Right. That's
know,
what
like,
happened at Van Lant's house.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we brought guns out there, because they said they were going to.
Exactly. And then they were a no-show until after it was over.
Right.
So I was like, I don't think so. Like, even the left, when there's a massive security operation around these big events, the number of protesters that show up is like minuscule. And the right, they're not. I don't know.
They don't have
there.
They don't have the courage of their conviction.
Exactly.
Man.
Exactly.
That's why I say that shit.
I mean, maybe we shouldn't go to them right now.
I'm not scared of them bastards, man. Bring your motherfucking ass. I'm waiting on. Oh man, dog. Anyway,
but
I love the day. I got so much frustration, boy.
Yeah, just
to have somebody like attack me, so that I can put it all, get it all out.
You're like,
oh man, bro.
You are my scapegoat, but my
exactly.
You're the representation of all my frustrations in society.
And my excuse to fucking go all the way to the moon on your ass. Hell yeah, I would love it.
One thing I am worried about. So, for example, the Monument Valley Park lately has just been covered with swastikas everywhere. People have been So if you're watching this right now, please go out to Monument Valley Park with some spray paint or some stickers. Like, just go out and keep your eyes out. I've heard about them over in Mid-Shooks Run neighborhood too, and Bonneville.
Do you think it's like one
I think it's
jackass?
A couple teenagers, to be perfectly honest, like trying to be like, we're Nazis or whatever.
Just like trying to get on the news and shit.
Or just like they you know, like trying to be edgy, or you know, they're racist. I'm sure they are racist.
I talked to one of these reporters, journalists. Like, what do they like to be called? Journalists?
I don't know. I don't know. What
whichever one is the higher one, that's who I was talking to. And they were like, yo, we're not covering all, like, we get reports, we're getting the pictures and shit, but we're not putting it on there because we don't want people to like, keep.
I'm torn with that because it's like that whole Antifa thing. It's like if you ignore it, they don't just go away.
Right, and it's like, man, you know, there's a lot of shit with this news media and coverage that I'm realizing and recognizing. Well, I mean, I guess I've already known it, but they literally pick and choose what they want to cover, and that's why like shit like this is important. And you know,
that's alternative media.
Yeah, like having different outlets and ways to talk about the things that are like for real. Because you're right. Like, why the fuck would you not talk about that shit?
We kind of need
just
to
make
know,
us think
like,
that it's not here.
Personally, I want to know where the Nazis are in my neighborhood.
Even if they're faking it.
Yeah, even if they're faking it. I'm not. So, man, I would love to catch it and be like, you love swastikas so much? Let's fucking carve some into your face, little shit. You know what I'm saying? Man,
like, make sure you call me first, John.
Call me so Sean can get us aggression. I'll call it later. I'll call my whole crew.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to save you. Yeah, man. This guy. But I hope we don't catch the person actually doing it. God damn it.
But that's what I'm worried about, is because like they do it under cover of night. I'm sure, you know, they go out. But I think the right is going to go more underground. It's going to be like the 90s again, where you have these people, they're building up stockpiles of guns. They're just waiting on those feds to come. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to be going out there, and I think doing like lone wolf terrorism type shit.
In the 90s. Well, you know, like one of the best movies of all time in our culture was Higher Learning, and that shit like amplified that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember that movie with Ice Cube and Busta Rhymes? Yeah, they was they were track.
Man, we've been talking about a lot of old 90s movies.
That was a good movie, man. But when I joined the Army in 1998. And I guess it must have been 2000. I was in Korea. And 99, 2000, I was in Korea. And we used to you couldn't shave your head bald.
Right,
like you had to let if you
weren't
going bald all the way, you couldn't shave your hair bald. And like
they were always mistaking you for a white supremacist.
Yeah, no, but even black people, even black dudes couldn't cut their hair and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, these motherfuckers was in there hiding and shit, and they were using it or whatever. So and then like the shit that you put in your room, it was all kind of like regulations on shit that you could hang up on your wall and couldn't hang up on your wall. And, you know, then it got into, you know, all the office space. You know, they would have like the Budweiser chick on the calendar and, you know, like all of that. Well, maybe not that far, but, you know, like even anything suggestive, like you couldn't have that shit. You know, so it was like a big whole thing where they were like, our whole culture is these fucking crazy motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So like, we got to fix it. And the whole military did that. Well, the whole army did that shit. To get rid of supremacy. Well, not to get rid of them, just so they hide them. You know what I'm saying? Like that didn't really kick their ass out. Like you got to grow hair with your racist ass. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, exactly, and that's all. Well, so Sam made this comment on the day of the Capitol riot. She's like, "Well, I don't see any swastikas, so they've apparently gotten better with their optics." But then somebody shared the picture of the guy wearing the Camp Auschwitz. Oh. But also the actual Nazi party here in the United States, they don't use the swastika anymore because everybody's like, oh, that looks bad. Everybody hates the swastika for some reason. But now they use the I'll put it up actually. Yeah. They use the it's a rune. They're all into like Nordic culture now, old Aryan and Nordic cultures. Yeah. And so they pull all of these things from like, you're watching that series about the Vikings. They pull all that shit from the old Viking culture because they're like, that's the real white people. Right. And they drink milk now. That's like a whole thing among white supremacists now is they drink milk because they're like, white people are the only people who aren't lactose intolerant, which is also not true.
That's not true. My mom is lactose intolerant.
Yeah, there's white people that are, but supposedly like that area of the world is like where you find the least incidents of lactose intolerance. So they see it as a white purity thing.
Oh Lord, yeah. Well,
it's also a psychopath
she's not
thing.
Pure white. All right, whatever.
Yeah. But so they just hide behind all these other little symbols, When I was a teenager in the 90s, neo-Nazis shaved their head and wore suspenders and white laces in their boots. You'd be pretty hard pressed to find a person that looks like that nowadays.
Right.
They do all that other stuff now. They put like runish tattoos on them or whatever instead of swastikas, and they have they grow their hair out and all this shit. They listen to metal instead of oi or whatever.
Right. Get their ass kicked. That's what they're going. That's what they finna do.
Yeah,
man.
But that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna build up, and like you said, higher learning. Wasn't there a white supremacist sniper? Is that?
Oh yeah, Remy.
Yeah, so he ends up like committing some sort of domestic terrorism.
He shot up the whole shit. Yeah.
But I think that I
was gonna. Oh yeah. So anyway, like that stuff being in our culture is like is embedded all the way in, and then it's kind of like. I guess I don't want to call it celebrated, but it is though. Like this is our thing. You know what I'm saying? And like, hopefully, this shit that Biden said is true. Like, what he's gonna do the shit. He was like, nope, the time for whatever you say, waiting or putting it off is over or whatever. Like this. Like, I hope so, bro, because it's gonna go down, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a chance that people are going to let this shit continue to.
Yeah, I'm a little curious about Biden. I'm surprised so far with what he's done. I was expecting Biden to be way more moderate and milquetoast, but there are a few things he's done that I'm a little surprised about.
I'm happy about it. But it reminds me, I'm like, oh wait, that's what real presidents do. Like everyone before that, like when they get in, they're like boom, boom.
Well,
boom,
he's done more than like 26 executive orders, which is way more than like Trump or Obama did in their first 2 days or whatever it is.
Good. Yeah, it's needed, man.
But I'm like, I don't know. And I think part of it is that
like beating them down, like nope.
Yes, yeah, like completely just like, reversing.
Nope, get all that shit out of there. Yeah.
But this also goes to show you. I think that there's a big debate like, should the left operate through the Democratic Party or should we have our own party? Yeah. But I just think we need to be stronger. And I think right now that there's evidence that we are stronger because I think the Democratic Party feels like they have to do some answering to the left. And I'm not saying that they're doing a good job at that necessarily, but there are a few things where I feel like they at least have to give lip service to some of this. And maybe I'm just being, as I'm talking about this, I'm like, they always do this.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't really give a shit what they do or don't do or say. I do care what they do or don't do. I don't care what they say and don't say and shit.
It's actions, exactly.
Right. So, in as far like I believe that right now we should be talking about the third party for the next 4 years until like it's a real 3 years or whatever until it's a real candidate that's up there doing it. I guess we're still kind of like in the honeymoon phase, but their character is gonna show like Biden and Harris are cops. You know what I'm saying? And their character is going to show in their policy the same way that it always has. You know what I'm saying?
Well, although, do you remember when Biden called out Harris for
Right.
Being a cop.
Yeah. That's the shit I was talking about. Like, man, we need to remember that those debates that they had, because those two debates. That's when they both rose up as like the strongest candidates. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit that they were saying, like, and then they were like going at each other, and they weren't lying about each other. They weren't up there telling lies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Biden does have this history of like supporting segregation.
Yeah, and then that all of that bullshit. So, man, I guess, man, we just gotta watch, dude, because you're right.
I mean, we could just be that Michael Jackson meme and sit back and watch.
And just popcorn and let them do their thing. I mean, but I don't know, man. I don't know what's. I don't know.
I mean, if I knew the perfect strategy, then
I feel like we're doing the right
person.
kind of shit already. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're already, like, we're trying to organize and realign ourselves to, shit in our community and things that affect us. Like, I believe that, for the longest time I thought that, like, federal policy really doesn't affect us really, but I learned differently. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, actually right now.
We can get a lot of money locally for,
like,
housing and transportation if you have like somebody in the White House who's willing to put money towards
to do the shit.
Money and transportation.
Right, and it'll change things. So anyway, so I see why we need to think about that stuff, but there's actually a lot of money right here in our city that's not being used the right way. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And like, we got a district that's like has a life expectancy. The expectancy is 16 years less than everybody else in the entire city. Like, there's things, our school districts. Man. Promise Lee is going to come on the show, and he told us this stat about District 2 and District 11.
This is good. We need to have teasers all the time.
Oh, yeah. District 2 and District 11, and he, just the things that he would tell, I can't remember word for word, so I don't want to repeat it.
And let him tell it. He's the one that's been looking at this.
We both were like, what the fuck?
I mean, shocked, but not.
Yeah, but it's like enough to make me want, I'm going to do something about that. Like, as long as that thing is really true and it's like for real, I'm going to do something about that. Shit is ridiculous, man.
I was glad that Yolanda came out like unabashedly supporting a unified district at least.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, at least 2. And I was like, what 2 would there be? I don't understand that. Like, I was really going over that actually. Like, why would you only have like where would that divide? Yeah, like having 2 districts in CM, just have a whole one big. And that's not going to fix everything, but Jesus, that's
I think she's. Well, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. But if you combine D2 and D11, then
the
it
2
would be
poor districts.
Right. But it would be I think D11 already is the biggest district, huh?
No, I think 20 is now.
20 is, yeah.
Because
man. I think we need. That shit needs to get checked up there, man.
It's because District 20 and District 12, they just want to protect their status and privilege.
Right.
So they don't.
That's where they're burning down affordable housing too.
Yeah, that's probably District 12. I bet.
They're burning down affordable housing and shit. Yeah, man. So it's a class war, man. This really doesn't have. There's rich Black folks, rich Hispanic folks, rich Asian folks, all up in there. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want it. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, that's where the truth is gonna come. They don't want to teach your kids right. We were looking at the Google Earth thing. We were looking at the map and stuff. And on the south side, you look at the parks and shit, and none of them are like beautiful and great or nothing. But at least some of the grass is green on most of them. You know what I'm saying? So at most of our schools, elementary schools, there's a school and a park attached somewhere around it. So the school is obviously ran by the district and the park is by the state or by the city. Green grass at the park, fucking dirt and weeds at the school.
I hate it. My school, we had gravel. We had that red gravel. Did you have red gravel at your school playground?
I think so. Yeah, but they don't even have that, bro. They got dirt with weeds in it.
Oh, okay.
It's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? The parking lot's all jacked up. You know what I'm saying? So when the kids go to school, they literally walk into a fucking prison campground. It's fucking ridiculous, man. And anyway.
Well, this is also part of that. Schools are seen as places where you control the students,
Yeah.
It's just, there's horrible policies and ideologies that happen within schools. So even if we had a unified district, I think we'd need to completely rethink education and how we teach kids, too, because so much of that is just how do we ensure that kids are staying under control and are being disciplined at school? And it's that's not the point of school. School's where you are supposed to let your mind flourish.
Yeah. Well, I think, but I feel like up there they're built that way.
Probably.
I feel
maybe
when you drive around and look at them, it's oh damn, that shit's dope. one of them got this big ass pirate ship as a in the playground. You know, it's like this big huge thing, and they got I saw the kids yanking one of them up on the thing, and he was raising up on the flag. I'm like, man, that shit is dope as fuck, man. I don't know. We were doing the roof over there, and it was during the summertime. I was like, man, this shit is crazy. Look at this, and it's just a playground. So anyway, yeah, man, yeah.
I'm gonna check that park out.
We're gonna have to hit up. So also, so we said Promise, and Regina English also agreed to come on the show. Regina's coming on. I think she said next weekend. I don't think we locked down the date. I don't know how we're gonna do that, man. Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Yeah, we're gonna have. So I know that we're gonna have Promise at some point during this week.
Oh, because he can't do our regular
Saturdays.
showtime. But
yeah,
that's okay. You guys can tune in anytime.
Yeah. We'll have.
You should be tuning in. Anytime we go live, people should be like, "Oh, what are they talking about?"
Yeah, we got a couple people on there, man. Sam said that she appreciates the way that Yolanda was able to open up and talk about her growth. Yeah. And then Dulce Garcia, she said, it's nice to know you're able to see a different perspective. No, yeah, you're right. It was true. I think she started to care after, you know, we had the conversations we had, you know, and she said that too. She said that she went to Promise and was like, yo, I'm ready to start being myself, you know. So there were some things that were, you know, she was like, yeah, I kind of was playing the politic a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And that really wasn't what I wanted to do. Right. So, you know, anyway.
And honestly, we came around too. We're like, I was pretty like, with Yolanda, and I think you were too.
Yeah.
And we're like, somebody needs to run against her.
Yeah.
You know, like, we need to get her out of there. But honestly, the fact that she's shown growth has allowed me to grow too. Like, okay, you know, like,
exactly.
It's like you step back from that moment of peace. And you're like, okay.
Right, because I was dead set. I was running for city council this cycle, you know what I'm saying? And that whole thing was the main reason why I didn't. It was like,
what do you guys think? Should Sean run for city council? Do you think he'd be a good counselor?
No, man.
See, I don't think I would be either.
I don't think I'd be better than Yolanda. I don't think I'd be better than her.
Like, I actually think she's
like,
really an advocate
not
at heart.
going like this election, you know what I'm saying? I don't think not for a second that I would be better than her.
I really want to talk to Regina now, though. Like,
yeah, me too, man. I want to see what her plan is.
Where are the differences? Like, what?
Yeah.
What is it that
how she's gonna
she
sees herself getting that done, exactly. And you know how she sees herself being able to manipulate that politics up there, because you know, yeah, man, they'll isolate you, and then you know, like we're like, yeah, man, like how are you gonna use the community to get these things? I think Regina we wouldn't have to go and yell at Regina to get her to come to the community. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I think that would be natural for her.
I mean, it would be nice if we just had more people of color in general.
She's part of Rise.
Oh, really?
I think she's on the executive board of Rise.
But like, what was you getting more people of color in general on city council would be good, rather than replacing one person of color with another person. I'm not saying that, like, okay, you know, whatever. She has every right to run, and like, you know, but it would be good to have like
both of them there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Yolanda's on the executive. She has something to do with Rise too. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Both.
Yeah, it seems like people in Rise.
Yeah, the South Side, man, they're doing their thing over there, man. Right. But anyway, yeah. So I think we're good, man.
We can wrap that up.
We're throughout the week we're gonna try to do like shorter, smaller things. We're gonna go, you know, out and interview people, like we said, these candidates that ignore our request for interview.
Richard and me. I really want to shoot a Richard and me now.
Yeah, Richard and me might be the first one, because he's definitely not answering us right now, and I'm blocked off social media, so I'm not able to rouse him up. Scorman will answer me. Scorman and Murray will answer me.
Oh, really?
Murray's like kind of a diva. Man, he's like,
yeah, he definitely.
He's like, you know, maybe not a diva.
I think a diva's a good way to describe him.
I think, especially like these last couple of weeks, he's been like, you know, hey, this is what I forgot what it was, man. He laid out this whole shit about, oh man, I wish I could talk about it.
The person who just got put in the district.
Well, yeah, he talked about that, and like, you know, like, yeah, you know how biased the process was or whatever.
For a year got put in.
Yeah, and he didn't agree with that shit. And then there was another thing, man, someone with a commission or something, and the way that anyway, he laid all the shit out low. Bill Murray, he's in there being a politician on Facebook. Man.
I mean, he's always like the old crank or whatever curmudgeon that's just like raising.
He was the only one that came to the hood. He when that shit happened, him and his wife came. I forgot where. Maybe it was a church or a library or something, and he came and had a meeting with us, and he was the only one. Oh, and Yolanda came.
But he was also the only one who got up and said, basically, no, we're not going to take any money from the police.
Yeah.
We need more money for the police because our police force isn't big enough or whatever. So I was like, eh.
Yeah.
And he was like, he pretended like he was an ally during the discussion about creating a commission.
Tried to play it, but we smelled that shit from the beginning, though. Yeah, he did.
But yeah,
and then didn't do nothing. Scorman did the same thing. Like we thought that he was gonna do that other, the presidential commission. Which he still could. I don't know, maybe not now. But I'm like, bro. I mean, it's going into your election. Maybe that might be something that might take you over the top. There's 2 people that are running against you, man. And I heard I heard you were gonna have a tough opponent.
I want her. I want the other woman that's running against Scorman. I don't even know if I think I was the other person to like her Facebook page. I think she liked her Facebook page for her candidacy, and me.
Oh no.
So I don't know if she's got like a real strong candidacy, but maybe you do. Come on the show. Let's talk.
And let's see.
I can't even think of her name right now.
Oh man,
aspiring actor.
I saw one. God, what is she running for the at-large? Helgen or Helgen?
No, she's District 5, I think.
Oh, okay.
Hengen.
Yeah. Hengen. Is that the? Do you like her?
I mean,
she had Russ in her commercial.
Yeah, she's got Russ in her commercial.
Hey, but I want to know when they filmed it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not mad at Russ anymore.
He raised I just wish he would be a little like honest about the fact that it was this pressure campaign.
Yeah.
Like rather than being like this because we're such good people.
Right. Yeah.
We did this and just be honest. Be like happened. People raised these issues and we like we were just talking about it. We grew. We learned some things. We grew and we changed our
that is
policies.
True. Yeah, I think, a couple people said that already. Like, but he still didn't just admit that he fucked that up. He did, man. He should. I'm not mad at him. Like I won't go.
I'm honestly
I won't
really
go stand in this store no more. That was fun though.
Yeah.
that was.
Have
a
we
good
posted
time,
that
man.
on here? We'll post it just for old
the
time's
sitting
sake.
that we did onto the songs. We were in there we were singing songs. Yeah, it was great, man. We had a good time.
Solidarity. Yeah. Don't get me singing.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, we love y'all, man. We'll get out of here. And yeah, just let us know. Oh, we need y'all to go to the YouTube page and subscribe.
Subscribe,
man.
guys.
And look, we got a whole bunch of videos. And John is like, hey, his editing skills is coming up. You guys got to be witness to this, man. Like every week is getting better and better and better. And we're about to buy some cameras and do our little thing, man. And John we're gonna have to hold on to him, I think, man. You're gonna be a YouTube sensation.
I know how to do
man.
2 things now.
What's that? What's the first one?
No, I know how to do 2 edits.
Oh,
that's it, like that. I can cut, but I can also throw in other images or videos.
Yeah.
It's fun. I have a good time editing our
we're gonna
videos.
work on the content and get it built up, man. But hey, we appreciate you guys, man.
For sure.
We're out of here.
Everybody, yeah, and keep an eye out for our little. When you subscribe, you'll see we're gonna start doing a little YouTube series coming up. I don't know when, whenever we get around to it.
Yeah, we're getting it started, man. But also the Black History Program is coming up.
Oh yeah.
In February, you can still donate and give to that stuff to help them get some things done. They got the cameras and the mics and the lights and the costumes and all of the stuff that they got to get done. Yep. So I think that's the 28th of February. And then, of course, the Juneteenth Festival, man.
It's going to be big.
We got that. I got the community barbecue coming in April 28th, 4th, the last Saturday.
April 24th,
yeah, the 24th. So that's going to be in Pikes Peak Park, man. We're working on our logos and sponsorship and all that stuff, man. So
if people want to sponsor.
Yeah. We need some money. We want to have a beer tent out there, man, and some music and
instead of people just having.
Yeah, like you got to go
brown paper bags.
You don't got to go to the car this year, man.
Yeah.
You got to go to the car. We finna have some beer out here for y'all, man. And yeah, so anyway, had some music and DJ Lack the product. He already said he's gonna come out there and spin some records for us and stuff, man. So
I think we also have
it's gonna be warm outside.
I think Human Being's gonna have a record release party here too.
Oh, okay.
February.
Oh yeah, I saw he just dropped
some.
Yeah, he just dropped some with Buddha G the other day. Yeah, that's cool, man. All right, man. We'll
Yep.
holler at y'all.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.